Okay, so hello everyone. We have 7 students of TISS MHA right now here with us, and they are going to tell you about the course, what MHA is, and how to get there. And they will take some of the questions of the students, which the students have asked and I have collected. And they will also share a PPT. Upon that, some general questions will be there from the students. We'll start with a brief introduction of all of them. So we are going to start with Ayan. So Ayan, yes, you can give.
Hello everyone, I am Ayan Mukherjee from West Bengal. I had completed my bachelor's and master's in botany before joining TISS. Right now, I am part of TISS 25 cohort.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Shreya Bhardwaj, and I am actually a BDS graduate, and I am based in Delhi, and I am currently part of TISS for the MHA program.
Good evening, sir. My name is Shubhangi Gajbir. Thank you, sir, for inviting us. I am graduate of BMS, and now I am currently pursuing MHA.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Saili Gaikwad and I've done my undergrad in life sciences and I'm currently pursuing TISS MHA.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Geeta Arora and I've in my undergraduate I've done my BHMS and I have an experience of 4.5 years post that. Now I'm doing my MHA in TISS.
Hi, good evening everyone. I'm Dr. Pooja and I've done my physiotherapy. I'm a physiotherapy bachelor and I also have 4.5 years of experience in this field from Mumbai itself. And yeah, I'm currently pursuing MHA from TISS.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shivani Borle. I have done my graduation in computer applications and currently I am pursuing my Masters of Hospital Administration from TISS, Mumbai.
Please pay attention to whatever is said in PPT, and after that, we'll take the question. So Shreya, you can speak now.
So, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. So the first thing that we'll be discussing about this course is basically the subjects that are actually taught under the MHA course, and this topic will be taken up by Shivani.
So good evening, everyone. Again, so let's start with the subjects that we are going to see in this semester course syllabus of MHA. So in the first semester, you have certain courses in second semester. So it is divided according to the curriculum, which is given by UGC. So in the very first semester, you have this very first subject that you can see is foundation course. In foundation course, we have basics of the social activities that are happening. Like it is very important as TISS being a social institution, social science institution. So it is very important that you should have the idea that what is happening in the society also. Then you have social science perspectives on health, that again, social science, how can you think about health regarding to social science? Then basic economics and health economics. Obviously economics is very important in healthcare also because here you're dealing with hospitals and healthcare management of various companies. Financing and management accounting. This involves accountancy, basic accounts that you have, like understanding the like how we did in this semester. We had Apollo hospitals, then we discussed about Fortis, Vedanta, big hospitals. We do the analysis of those, how they are doing in the their yearly records. Then organizational behavior, that how it is important for an individual to behave in an organization and how an organization, a whole company or a whole institution that is working is behaving towards the individual. Like it's very important you're working in whenever you're working in a company, you're working to achieve the goal of that organization and not your individual goals. The principles of management for hospitals, that what all different theories of management are used, what all different, we also had various case study discussions in this subject. Various hospitals were discussed. I, Shreya, Shubhangi, Saili were in one team. In this subject, we had this assignment. Then we have research methodology for hospitals. This is a subject every department in TISS has a research of 2 years. So this subject, research methodology for hospitals, gives a foundation for you to continue your research, to start your research. Then you have organization and administration of supportive services. This subject deals with the support services that happens in hospital industry. So once you come on the board for the course, you will understand what are the supportive services like linen and laundry, additional activities of hospitals which are essential, without which again hospital can't work. Then we have organization and administration of clinical and super specialty services. In this, we studied about the management of ICU, operation theaters, blood banks, etc. So these were the subjects of our first semester. In upcoming semesters, we will also have subjects like materials and medical technology management, then epidemiology and biostatistics. This is where we will be, this subject is mostly in MPH SC, social epidemiology, where our batchmates, other our friends, when will they come? They'll explain you about. Then we have hospital information system, hospital planning and program management, that how hospitals should be planned and should be constructed so that there are no hazards that are happening in future. Then we have elective foundations, open elective. These are some optional subjects that you have to select. Then your first internship. So the MHA course offers you in total 3 internships in the complete semesters, 4 semesters. So the very first internship starts in the second semester. Then you have human resource management and labor legislation, ethics and equity for hospitals, quality management in hospitals, then management analytics and operation research, legal framework for hospitals, all the legal matters are discussed, marketing management and business development strategies. You start here with your second internship, financial management, and the again comes for the next semester, again you will have urban health, strategic management. These are optional subjects. Third internship and the research project that you are doing for 2 years, you have to finally submit in your last semester the research project. So this is all the subjects that we will have in our upcoming semesters also. So now internships will be taken by someone else.
Yeah, so the internships part will be taken up by Sayali.
So as Shivani mentioned, right after our second year, we'll be starting our first internship. So broadly, we have 3 internships. The first internship will be in government hospital, second will be in trust hospital, and third will be in private corporate hospital. So this internships, yes. Hello, am I
Yeah,
audible?
go on. You are audible. Fine. Go on.
Yeah, yes. So this internship aim to give us real scenario, real hands-on training on whatever we learn in the curriculum, and we are posted in different states, and we do not really have choice where we will be posted. And the course of this internship will be roughly around 8 to 10 weeks, and this internship. In this internship, we will be we will be allotted some case study, we'll be allowed to research on various elements of healthcare and hospital. And at last, when we come back to campus, we will be required to do a presentation, and that also accounts a major chunk in our curriculum. So that's all for internship.
Okay, so one thing to notice here is that there are 3 internships, and the 3 internships happens at you can say 3 type of environment. The first is government hospital, the second is trust, and the third is private. So that is why the diversity of knowledge or insight you will have will be immense. Yeah. So now we have the selection procedure, the first round and the second round. So yeah, you can explain. Anybody can explain.
So the TISSNet part will be taken up by Ayan.
Before Ayan starts, I would like to say Ayan was one of the highest scorer in TISSNet, so he's the right person to explain this. He scored 66. The cutoff this year for HRM was 63, and he had applied for MHA, and he scored 66. So Ayan, you can also explain the thing which is there and also your strategy, what you did. Okay, yeah, go on.
Yes, sure, sir. The TISSNet is a 100-mark exam. You will be allotted 100 minutes for 100 mark, 40 mark for GK, 30 mark for English and mathematics each. So here TSNET stands as a time management exam. It checks how you can manage your time most efficiently. What I failed in TSNET exam that the most percentage is for GK, and there is a mandatory percentage that every person had to cut off to evaluate further part of his answer sheet. So here comes the trick that you must prepare your GK really well, and I should thankful to sir because he had given us a very rigorous preparation for that GK part. And at the same time, what I had taken into consideration that just take an previous year paper, solve it on your own, keeping your timer on, analyze which is your strongest part and which parts you need to take care of, which parts you have to work really hard, and map that thing. And for me, it was mathematics, and GK is my strongest part because of sir. I was a little bit less confident about the English part because of its vocabulary, and we cannot predict from where those synonym, antonyms, and all those things can come. So during the TSNET exam as well, regarding my strength and weaknesses, I distributed the 100 minutes in such a pattern that I distributed 60 minutes for mathematics. And because of rigorous preparation for GK part, it took around 15 to 20 minutes to cover those 40 questions. And I gave 20 rest minutes for the English part. So that is the strategy I had taken. I will surely encourage you all to just analyze the previous year paper and uh, make your plan accordingly. At the same time, regarding the materials, whatever sir is providing for the GK part, English part, and math part, trust me, all those things are more than sufficient. For me, it helped in such a pattern that I had not referred anything else. I practiced the math twice or thrice, along with seeing the YouTube videos at 2x speed for 2 to 3 times for certain parts. And GK, we had regular sessions for GK, and that thing is taken care of by that pattern. And the flashcards for the vocabulary session in Quizlet really helped me a lot. That is how the TSNET looks after. This year, the cutoff for general category for MHA was 53. And although the TSNET marks give you an ace for your next round of selection, as it carries 50% weightage in aggregate score, there, if you score more in this part, it will give you an extra mileage. At the same time, extempore and OPI part become a crucial part as well. But whatever is in your hand right now is to prepare really well for this TSNET part. So thank you. Anything other people can add to this?
So here I will add one point which was said by Ayan at last, that this net is something which is in your hand. Okay, you can increase the number here by your hard work or by your studying, target studying. Okay, but when it comes to next round, there is very less thing which are in your hand, because you have a profile you cannot change. Suppose you have a gap year, you cannot change. Whatever back thing is there, you can't change. And there are three people, the panelists, they are going to judge you, and that is why it is more dependent upon them rather than you. So that is why try to maximize TISS score as Ayan did. Okay, so Ayan actually scored 66, the cutoff was 53. Okay, now Shreya, you can move to next slide.
Yes, sir. One second, sir. So, sir, the next thing that we'll be talking about is the DAF. So, Geeta will be taking up this part.
Hello, everyone. So I absolutely agree with what Ayan has said regarding TISNET. And going forward towards DAF, so DAF seems a little scary when we look at the format of DAF, but it's really very simple. It's like 10th, 12th, your undergraduation, what all marks you have scored, and then what all experience you have, what gap years you have, but it is not graded. So DAF essentially not being graded, but still it is very, very important with respect to your interview. That being said, that's because what you can justify, what you can answer, what you can, according to your journey, that only you should write in your draft. Supposingly, if you have had a thesis or a dissertation in your UG and you don't want questions from that, please do not mention it in your draft. And I think Pratik sir is the best person to take help from during DAP. He really puts basic what you require during your DAP and what the panelists want to hear during your DAP. That is very important. He has great insights regarding that. Please follow whatever he has to say to the T, and try to keep it unique. The more generalized you will have your DAF, the more general questions you will receive. That questions everybody is answering. So whatever unique points you will have in your DAF, they will appreciate, the panelists will appreciate that thing in your DAF. And also, while writing about your personality, you should moderate about your strengths, your weaknesses. You should write your weaknesses in such a way that it should go towards your strength. Also, every point that you are writing in your DAF, please see to it that you can receive a question from that. It is a potential question, so be very careful in what you are writing. If you have a confusion, please skip that point. The panelists do not know what to ask. You have to give them points that these are the points you can ask me from. So that is your DAF. Going towards extempore now.
So here I would like to add one point. See, the DAF which is there is not evaluated, number one. Number two, the DAF will help them to get an idea about the student and ask interview questions. So never ever in the DAF show a guilt consciousness because of gap years or because of something. As Geeta rightly said, that if you have done some project or some dissertation and you don't want a question from that, don't reflect it in the DAF. Otherwise, it will be a problem. It can be a problem. Okay. Whatever you will write, you will get questions from that area only. And suppose a few of you might have gap years. Okay. So don't write it in that way. It will show guilt consciousness to them. Don't feel guilt about that. Whatever gap year are there, there might be people with gaps. So you can justify it better when you will have confidence. Okay. Yeah, then Geta, go on.
Yes, sir. So next being extempore. So when the interview starts, it starts with the extempore. So your first judgment that the panelists make is through your extempore. The knowledge you put in, the statistics you put in, they know that you are well prepared or you're presenting them with half knowledge. So it's very important to put good points in the extempore. It carries 20% weightage. So it's very important. Like I was asked how from where you have used the stats. So I had to tell them that these are all government from government websites. So it's approximately 3 minutes, but ideally you should be ready with your content for about 2.5 minutes. It doesn't reflect good when they have to stop you when you're still speaking for 3 minutes. So be ready with 2.5 minutes around them. Yeah, extempore.
Now I'll be speaking on the rest of the part regarding the extemporary. Before I begin, I want to mention one thing regarding the TISSNet. When I was preparing for the TISSNet examination, and I want to say this from my personal experience, I had this huge problem of FOMO. I always felt that I was missing out on something, so I would like refer to thousands and thousands of sources, and I think that was one of the major problem or a blunder that I did. I think you should always restrict yourself to a very specific source. Sir is going to cover everything. Even if you feel that sir has not taken up some topic, sir will eventually cover it. Sir will make you revise it thousand and thousand number of times. You will not have to put in any additional effort. So just restrict your source. That is one thing that is very important. Regarding the extempore, so the extempore can be of two types. The topics that you get can be of two types. The first will be something related to the health topics, and then there'll be some general topics. So when you talk about the health topics, the first question that comes into mind is what to study. So the first thing that happens is that sir is going to give you a list of topics. Once you get selected, he is going to give you some very commonly given topics on OneNote. So you have to prepare those topics properly. Then there can be something regarding the current issues that are there, especially with respect to health. For example, last time the right to health as a fundamental right was very frequently in news, and also the medical termination of pregnancy. So those things are very important. So you have to prepare something with related to that. You can make a list of topics which are important with respect to the news. Then also, I want to mention that once you clear your testnet, the aspirant relation committee of each course, they are going to add you on the WhatsApp groups. So they will come up with a list of all the topics that have come in the previous years by all the aspirants, by all the students who are already there in the college, and that is a very extensive list. And if you prepare that, then you're sorted, because anything that comes will be related to that only, nothing beyond it. Apart from that, where to study from? So of course, when it comes to health, you have to be referring to ET Health World, Hindu Editorials, Indian Express, Wire. Then there are some government websites. These are the list of websites. I'll be giving this PPT to sir only, so sir can send this to you. You can refer to this because it has all the stats and everything. It is very important that you're using the right statistics. You have to, they can ask you, where are you citing this data from? And they can even mock you if you are using the wrong data. So that is important. And also we also used to use a little bit of chat GPT to like frame a good extempore like into a good body with proper introduction and everything. And how to practice? So sir is going to do a lot of clubhouse sessions. Please make sure that you are going to attend that. They'll be very frequent once you get selected, and you have to attend it so that the fear of speaking goes away. And of course, use mirror, record yourself. You have to give mock interviews. Pratik sir will take them, and also you can give some mock interviews to your families and friends, and you can also take help of seniors. You can also do group discussions among yourselves. And similarly, you will have some general topics. And similarly, we used to prepare the topics which were covered by Pratik sir only during our current affair classes. Sir almost made us do all the important topics that were there in news. Also the static topics that were there also very important. Then apart from that, again, the list will be given by the aspirant relation committee. Again, for this, we were referring the Pratik sir's notes, Hindu Editorials, Indian Express. You can refer the buyer, and also Chat GPT to frame your answer. And again, the practice ways goes the same way. One thing we want to mention is that two topics will be given for extempore. So the first topic will be presented to you. If you don't like it, if you don't feel comfortable with it, you can ask for the second topic. It does not reflect badly upon you. They don't have a problem with it. Sometimes they might even give you two topics at once. So that is that for extempore. If somebody else wants to add on to this thing, they can.
Regarding the extempore part, the first thing is the ideally 3 minutes are allotted, but in most of the panels you will not get full total 3 minutes, as sometime choosing the topic will take 30 seconds or more. So make it as crisp as possible. I am thankful to sir, as he had guided us for giving points to put points in appropriate places, as it is the first chance to make your impression. Extempore matters a lot, and do not hesitate a bit if the first topic is uneasy for you. Take a proper chance to switch to the next topic, and sometimes it is also seen that if the second topic is also not that good as per your preparation, professors can give a chance upon request. But if you are wishing to switch, make a sure decision that you are not comfortable with the first one, and then only you should switch. So that is what I like for extempore part. And now coming to the OPI part, it's a 3-member panel interview. It is a social science perspective, social science institute. Broadly, I had given 3 interviews, and this time also image is my first preference. And in all the 3 courses for which I appeared for interview, the questions are broadly categorized into 3 different categories: personal question, MHA specific question, and social science question. In personal question, as Geta and other people have already said, know your DAP inside out. Sir will guide you throughout your preparation phase and during the mock interviews as well. These things become the backbone of whatever you had already given to the faculties. there is a 50-50 chance they can go through your tab if it is interesting, and they can reject the tab and directly ask you questions. So make your tab that much interesting that professor had to go through it at least once. So now, as I am from botany background, the common question I got in all three panel is how to relate MHA with my graduation subject. This is a major deciding question for me, and at the same time the sequence of preference, that is also important question. I put MHA as my first preference, so professor asked about what are the other preferences that you had selected for. I told them, and the reasoning behind giving such preferences also asked sometime. Be very sure while you are selecting your preferences, as you cannot change it. And if you are selected for your first preference, but mistakenly you had put it in first, there is no option, no scope to switch it to your second or anything else. So be very sure about that. And second, MHA specific questions. For me, basics of hospital, Indian healthcare scenario, and knowing special groups is the makes the very buffer knowledge of mine. As Indian healthcare scenario, I had taken data resources from National Family Health Survey, survey on tribal healthcare setups, and with different websites and data sources that are already previously covered. At the same time, SIR will provide you a comprehensive list, make that the backbone for a buffer knowledge, so that you can add upon your points and make it uniquely shaped as per your course specifications. Then the social science questions. One of the panelists in all three of interviews of mine asked question from the social science perspective, and I had joined Ignited Eyes from August 5th. Throughout this entire session, I hardly missed any the Hindu classes, and it built my social science reasoning.
So yeah, go on.
Sir had particularly put it a message. So sir notices everyone. You guys, maybe you are not noticing, but sir is noticing each and every activity of you. Be it in the group, if you are present in class, absent in class, participating in discussions and all those clubhouse sessions, sir notices everything. So regarding the social science part, along with our government setup that we had, becoming sensitive about the historical suppression issues on women and all those so-called backward classes that we had, that takes a major chunk. I got question on women rights and in topics related to this in all three interviews of mine, and I had aced all three questions. Pratik sir had made it sure that I answered it well. So that portion is important. At the same time, if you are utilizing your numbers, be sure take it from authentic sources and mention the sources. At the same time, when you are answering, had little bit of confidence, clarity, and at the same time, if you do not know the answer, please take some time to think whether you really do not know anything, and then just tell that sorry sir, I do not know, I will surely read about it, or something like that, because uh, humbling, stumbling, and making some case does not work here. Be very sure whatever you are answering, then only you should answer. That is the OPI part I should like to cover. Other people you can add if you want.
Sir, I
Shreya,
would like to say that I also want to mention that the panelists are very friendly. There might be a case when one or two teachers might not have a very good mood, but that is all coincidental. Usually, the panelists are very friendly and they will make you feel very comfortable. You just have to make sure that whatever you are saying is right. Don't make up things, and yeah, be honest. Like I answered, that you have to accept it if you don't know it. Just say that you will read about it. And the next part that we'll be covering is the doubts and the question answers that everybody had sent uh, regarding this course. So the first introduction part has already been taken up by all of us. The second is the what is the MHA course. We've already discussed the subjects, the syllabus, and everything. We just want to like give a brief idea that basically the MHA course is going to equip you to be able to work in different departments of a hospital, be it operations, be it quality, be it supply chain, be it claims and underwritings, be it product management, program management, or any kind of business analysis or any consultancy, insurance related. So all these sectors which are related to hospitals. And these are basically the core responsibilities. Apart from that, hospital administration also helps you getting jobs in other health related sectors, like I mentioned, health insurance as well. And apart from that, the next question that how MHA is different from regular MBA, can Ayan answer this question?
Yes, so MHA is specialist type of course. When we are talking about general MBA, it will make you a generalist manager. So you can poke into any field of finance, human resource management, investment banking, sales, operations, marketing, and anything else. So when you are entering into MHA field, it will equip you with the things that are related to healthcare sector only. You can develop your careers in hospital, insurance sector, biomedical device sector, or in consulting as a specialist who had a domain specific knowledge on health. So that is the difference between the MHA and any regular MBA course. So the next second question is the difference between MHA and MPH in terms of curriculum. In the first semester itself, we had certain courses for common, like basic economics and health economics, like social science perspective of health, etc. But rather than that, two courses, MHA and entire public health, covering public health, social epidemiology, public health, health administration, and public health, health policy, economics, finance. The curriculum is different, and that's all. You can always refer to the TISS website for looking after the curriculum. At the same time, another question that I had, what are the things we should consider before filling the preference for health courses and in what manner? It completely depends upon your choices and preferences and priorities. If you wish to work upon hospital sector, see, both hospital provides the curative service and public health provides the preventive service. If you wish to be part of curative service, then you can select always MHA as your first preference. But if you join the promotive cadre, then public health should be your priority. It depends upon your inclination, in which sector you wish to contribute upon. At the same time, the second thing, again, I will tell, I had already mentioned it once, be very sure when you are putting your preferences. It happened to some people of us that their first preference is something in later stage they had realized that they really don't wish to opt. But as they got selected in their first preference, TICs do not provide any opportunity to switch. So be very sure and specific. You can always refer to our alumni aspirant committees. At the same time, you can always reach out to us. Sir can give you an clarity about which course should be your preference. I can remember that Pratik sir had guided me for putting my preferences of course. So be very sure about that. And another question is, I get to know that MH is more of a desk job while MPH has a traveling and government job. Is this true, or we have other opportunities? Absolutely not. Just few days earlier, if you are following our LinkedIn page, you will see that one of our senior alumni had came. He is basically a hospital construction consultant. So he used to visit different places in India. At the same time, some of our alumni are working as national key account manager in reputed health insurance companies at all. They had to visit different cities of India to for their business purposes. But if you are joining in a hospital, then it can be a desk job if you are participating in quality management or something like that. But if you are into operation, acquisition, and those things, you can have to move. So we cannot generalize it by saying that it's only a desk job. We had other opportunities as well. Thank you. So other questions will be taken care of by my colleagues.
So the next question is that if our target course is MHA and we offer three health courses and we give interview for all three, so will it reduce the chances of our selection in MHA? So it does not necessarily matter. Like it honestly does not matter if you've applied for all the three courses, because I think everybody does that. They know that it is a common trend. But what is important is that you respect that subject, you respect the professors that are sitting in the interview, and that you know that subject. You cannot bluff them. Like you cannot just like put that option there and then not know anything about it. For example, I had put up MHA as my first preference, and then I'd also put up MPH. But when I was giving my MPH interview, they were really grilling me. They wanted to know if I actually knew about MPH or not. So that is very important that you know about the courses that you filled upon. It does not matter if you have applied to all the three courses. Now, the next question will be taken up by Geeta.
Yes. So the next question is, do they ask questions from the UG course, especially if we are from health background? So ideally, in DAF, there is a category where you have to fill, there's a column where you have to fill your UG course, the syllabus and your subjects. So you should be filling only those subjects you are confident about, that you will be able to answer if asked about something. Otherwise, like for me, they never asked anything regarding my BHMS subjects. They just asked how I could do MHA after BHMS, how I could correlate it with BHMS. That was the only question I received. But yes, you should have superficial knowledge about your courses, your subjects. The next question I'll be taking is the 10th one. Medical students are more favored? No. So our classmates are from various backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, like somebody mentioned. We have classmates from engineering background, from English honors, from pole science honors, from history. So that is not an issue in TISS. And so they also prefer diversity. So if you're a medical student, that is okay. They may ask you regarding that, or they may not, but they won't be favoring you as such for that. The next question is 15th. If they had taken a break from practicing, like to study for PG entrance exam, how they justified? I think Prateek sir is the best person. He also guided me when I filled a gap year of 1 or 2 years in my DAF. He really guided me well as to how to justify those gap years. You should be more confident. You should be more able to convince the panelists that yes, this was my gap year and it was utilized in a specific way. I did this and I gained this experience from those years. That is very important. When you are confident that yes, I can justify, you would be able to convince the panelists.
Also, I would like to add to Geeta's point that she mentioned in this question that do they ask questions from the UG course, especially if we are from health background. So what I found is if you are from non-health background coming to hospital industry, they grill you more there. Like I came from computer applications background to hospital industry. So my all questions were evolving somewhere around health and IT. Also, I was asked a very good question by one of the panelists that you are a person who loves machine. Then how are you coming to a field where you have to love people? So then I have to justify them with this answer in this question. So I think they grill mostly to those students who are coming from non-medical field. So you should be able to link your course that you have studied in UG with the upcoming MHA course that you are adopting for. That's it. I would like to add.
I think they also grill the students who are from the BDS background a lot, because they want to know that why so many BDS students are shifting to this course. So you have to justify that as well. Then the next part will be taken up by Pooja.
Yeah, continuing the same question. So even I was grilled as to why, after working as a clinical physiotherapist for 4.5 years, why do I really have to come into management? So I had to justify it properly. But as I had also applied for MPH, the MPH staffs, they were not really happy with my answer. They were like, they were skewing me, they were grilling me a lot on that, and I was really not able to justify them. So yes, you need to be careful, and there were questions from my background, and all the three interviews I attended, like all of them, and you don't need to be like, you don't have to go really deep into it. Basically, mine were about my experiences and a basic knowledge about the subjects which I had mentioned. So you need to be careful, as Geeta said, the subjects which you mentioned in the DAF. And I also wanted to add about the subjects of MHA course. Like when we talk about this difference between MHA and regular MBA, we need to really know that MHA is specifically hospital related. And hospitals, in the sense, these are profit organization and not for profit organization. So you need to keep that in mind. Whatever we do in a hospital is related to profit. So that is the main thing what a MHA graduate has to do. One specific thing which differentiates MHA from the rest. And yeah, because there were so even in our first sem there was a subject called finance and accounts management. It doesn't mention finance and account management in hospital, but the subject was very specific to hospital. Like everywhere, it was all about hospital, and pharma companies. And even there are other subjects where even organizational behavior, uh, it is in general about all organizations, but again, they target upon hospitals more. So, because there is a classmate of ours who didn't knew that it will be hospital specific, and so yeah, that's why I want to reiterate on this point that it is hospital specific and not a general MBA. And yeah, test net marks are very important. I kind of suffered in this, I can say, because I joined Pratik sir's class around the mid of November, which was really late according to me. I did try my best to cope up with it. I was just very little above the cutoff. But so even though I scored pretty well in my interview and extempore, I was in the waiting list just because, like for very few points, the overall cutoff points, for a very few points, I was put in the waiting list. So I would again like to reiterate that TISS marks are very important, because even if I had scored 1 mark more in my test net, I would not have been in the waiting list. So yes, yeah, that's all I want to cover. And then my questions are like, are there things we need to know before getting into test, that is some academic knowledge? Yes. So again, a very basic knowledge about, if you're if we have given MHA as the first preference, we need to know what MHA is, what distinguishes it from MPH, because this was one of my question which was asked by the interviewer, that what distinguishes, and does the person really know if what is the difference between MHA and MPH? And even because MPH has other three options, you need to specifically know that what the difference is. And yeah, you don't need to really go deep into it, because that's what they will be teaching in the next 2 years, but we need the basic idea of what it is. Then the next question is, what type of question we were supposed to expect in the interview. I think this was very broadly and explained by Shreya and others. I can just say that uh, again, you need to be very well versed with the current affairs. If you're attending this MHA interviews, then you need to know the recent advances in the hospital sector. Like I was asked about Narayana Hridayalaya as to where does it cater to and why is it gaining importance and what and how they are different from the rest of the hospitals. And I was also asked about why the hospitals are increasing or more concentrated now in the second and third tier cities. So, and again, you can also read about mergers and acquisitions happening in the hospital sectors, and other points will obviously be told by Pratik sir. So you don't have to worry about it. And the next point is the age of 29 with no experience be a matter? So currently in my batch, there are at least 8 people whom I know are of age 28. 28, there are at least seven to eight people. And in that, there are 5 who are UPSC aspirants who hardly have any experience. So if they are there, then I don't think anyone has to worry about experience or anything. So yeah, next can we continue?
So the next part will be taken up by Sayali.
So the question is fresher student preferred or not? So I myself, I'm a fresher and I don't really have any experience. And my entire interview revolved around my graduation subjects, what I did there, what kind of projects I did. I also had some question like, if you have done your graduation in life sciences, why don't you continue a master's in life science? So there you should be able to convince them why you are interested to pursue this course, what curiosity you have to pursue this course. It totally depends upon your determination. And if you have some experience, you can use it to your leverage, and your interview will be completely based on that. And you won't be having, the panelists won't be having any kind of bias whether you are a fresher or not. Our batch is really young, and we have around 60%. I believe 60% of our batch is freshers. So it doesn't matter whether you're fresher or not. And the next question, I've already covered the kind of internships we are going to have. I will reiterate 3 internships and what kind of job roles. So after rigorous internship, 3 rigorous internship, we get to understand what kind of role we want to pursue. So we can either go to hospitals. Majority of students prefer hospitals. And the second is health insurance. We do learn about health economics and health insurance. So claims, underwriting, that kind of jobs, and project management, and medical devices, pharmaceuticals. Very less percentage of health tech and health startups also come. So business analyst, project coordinator, this kind of job roles are also offered. Thank you.
So there are 2 more questions which are unanswered. The first one is that what is the expected cutoff? So the cutoff changes each year. The year that we gave this testnet, and that is this year, what happened was that there were a couple of questions which were not wrong. So the cutoff went like it dipped a bit in comparison to the previous year. And it's usually it was like previously it was 56, this year it was 53. So like for the general category, and keeps on changing. So don't focus on that. Like try to maximize your testnet score as much as you can, because that is the most important, the most I think the crucial part of the entire test exam, because interview is very subjective and anything can happen on that day. So try to maximize your testnet score. The second thing is the fee. So you can just refer to the testnet website. It has all the details regarding this. They've given you a complete breakdown of the entire fee structure. So that is there. Shivani wants to add a couple of points before we end this. So Shivani.
So I would like to add the points for extempore and OPI. Like Geeta mentioned that most of the questions are covered from DAF. So yes, many of the times most of the questions are covered from DAF, but in certain cases they do not ask a single question from DAF. I felt this because when I was interviewed, I mentioned various points in my DAF, but they didn't took any. They just only revolved around my background of UG. That's it. I mentioned about various competitions. I mentioned about various certifications. They didn't went there, nor they asked me about my town, my city. Again, then secondly, extempore. It's not always important that both the topics that you get is always of health or of the background that you belong. Like I thought I might get the topic of healthcare in IT. So, but I didn't got that topic. The very first topic that was offered to me was like about global health perspective. And I asked them to, I would like to swap this topic. So the second topic they gave me was how education is educating us. So which is not at all related to health. So these pointers for this questions you can prepare from is by just as Ayan also mentioned, by keeping yourself aware with the social topics that are happening around you. Also, what are the recent trends in healthcare, recent trends in AI in healthcare? Like I focused majorly on AI healthcare because my background was in IT, AI. So that's it I would like to add. So you need, try to link your course with the UG that you have pursued. That's it.
So now basically, if anybody has some other question, then you can ask. Anybody who would like to ask anything, they can ask. If we have not covered, we have covered everything extensively. Okay. So by the way, you can decide your questions if you want to ask. What was the overall cutoff? What was the overall cutoff means? Sir, I have a question to Ayan. How you justified that you are from botany background and how you rated the botany background to healthcare? Ayan?
Yes, sir. So thank you for the question. I will not give you the exact framework what I had used, but during my bachelor's and master's field studies, I had got a very exposure about the tribal health scenario in my district. I had related those points with my inner calling that because of these reasons, I wish to work upon these issues and to improve the healthcare scenarios in these pattern. So that is my answer. That how I had justified my field with hospital administration.
Okay, so there is a question of overall cutoff. So I would like to tell there that it doesn't matter what the overall cutoff is because you never know how they are going to mark. It is not that all the course altogether, suppose this year the cutoff was 65, next year it can be anything. So what you have to do is you have to, first of all, in testnet, you have to maximize your score. And then in OPI and extempore, you have to try to stand out. If you are going to stand out, they are going to select you and stand out in better way. So don't, as Jeta was saying, that don't fill the DAF with common things. How much time will be there for DAF and testnet after the testnet result? So let me come and take this one. Actually, last year and last to last year, what happened? The pandemic was there, and because of that, it got extended, and we had like 2-3 months of period for that. Normally, it is around 40 days or 42 days. But last year, it was the result came, I believe, on 26th, and the first interview which happened, although it was of this particular thing, what do you call HRM, it was 13 on 13th of April. So 26th, the result came, 13th, the interview happened. I started, but many of you will apply for 3 courses. You will have to write 3 DAFs. You will have to prepare and read something about those courses. And that is why time will be less. And that is why what we did this year, we started extempore earlier. Okay. Anybody, any questions apart from this? What is 8 number question? Can you speak?
I think Ayan already answered that question. Ayan, can you like give a brief this thing with respect to the eighth question, whether MHA is more of a desk job while MPH has more traveling and government jobs? Is this true,
Okay,
or we have other opportunities?
Yeah, so let me take that question because I know a bit about that. Okay, come to MPH. MPH is all about preventive healthcare. What is preventive healthcare? Where you are making policies with the government, with some NGOs. We have to educate people how to live properly in a way so that we can prevent some of the health issues. That is MPH, where you will devise the policies. Number one. Number two, it is a field job where you might have to go to the places and there you will have to collect some data at times. Now come to MHA. It is curative. After you have been diagnosed, then you have to work at a hospital to make it more efficient. So that is a desk job. So what are some of the other questions? Sir, I have one question. How to manage time for testnet preparation with CGL studies? So see, as I always say, be consistent with the classes and just 2 hours you have to spend. In the class only, your revision will happen. In the class only, multiple revision will happen. So take how to fill the DAFs strategically. That will be anybody who can say how to fill the DAF. Geta already said that DAF is basically for what? For taking your interview, for understanding or getting to know the person so that the panel can frame some of the questions. Okay, so try to depict only those things which you are comfortable with. Do not brag about yourself. Do not write something which is not required, which can create troubles for you. And be honest. And there is a question: why do you, as Shreya was also saying, conviction should be very strong. Why do you want to join this course? And this conviction should be there for all the 3 courses. Okay, because if you are weak in that conviction, they might grill you. So any other question you have?
I'd like to add to this point that you just mentioned. So my first preference was MHA, and I was very convinced that I had to go for MHA only. So when they asked me about MHA, I was able to convince them fully. But when I went for MPH HA, so they could understand that I was not fully convinced about the course. They grilled me a lot, and then I was awarded a very less points in MPH HA. Thankfully, I was selected in MHA. So they come to know about your conviction by how you're speaking, your body language, about your confidence, everything they come to know. We should be prepared for that. We should practice our answers specifically for this question: why MHA or why the course you are choosing. That is very important. You should be well prepared with that answer.
Okay, so somebody has written, sir, my question is, if someone is not able to clear TISS this year after a year of experience, would it be worth giving it another shot, or would it be better doing MHA from any better, any other college? Okay, so basically the question, what I have understood is, what you will like. You will like to continue with this, suppose you have not made it this year, to join some
So
other
can I
college.
answer that question?
Yeah, you can.
Sir, I think with specifically with respect to MHA, I would like to be very honest with respect to that. I think your time is very important. Don't waste it by dropping unnecessarily if you feel that it is something that you do not resonate with that much. If you are like very committed कि मुझे यहीं से करना है और यही course करना है, and you can justify that, then only you take another drop. If you feel that नहीं मैं जबरदस्ती कर रहा हूँ या जबरदस्ती कर रही हूँ, don't take another drop. You can do MHA from other colleges also. There are other similar options, and those colleges are also gaining a lot of face value in the coming times. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है that TISS is everything, because I feel a student's time is very valuable, and you end up with a lot of regrets later in life if you've done unnecessary drops or you have unnecessary gap years. Um, don't think about that right now. Later on, you can explore some other backup options also. You should have some backup options. You should know what all other courses and colleges are there with respect to MHA. And I think, of course, this has this great advantage that you have a proper placement cell, and the professors are very well connected with great leaders and great organizations. You have great alumni network. Of course, that gives you a lot of benefit. But if in case you are not able to make it at in one attempt and you're not that committed to it, don't waste another year. You can also hunt for a job on your own once you do this similar course from other colleges. That is something that I would like to say.
Okay, so I would also like to add here, when I was guiding for the first year, that is in 2021, there was a girl. Now she qualified for all the three courses, but her number were quite on the cutoff range. Okay, and that is why she was very good at extemporary and everything, but she missed the main thing in TISS. Okay, after qualifying for three things, three courses in TISS net, she missed admission in TISS. Okay, and then she went to gym Goa. So she went there and she took admission there. And right now, actually, she is in EY. Can someone please share some decent college for MHA? Some of the decent college apart from TISS, because TISS has three courses, are, if you want to spend some money, then you can go to Gym Goa. Shreya, you can speak then, because you might be having better idea.
Yes, sir. So basically, I would like to vouch for another college, and that is IHMR, be it Jaipur or Delhi. I will tell you why. So basically, I was very focused on being a part of TISS, and I was waitlisted, and that time was very difficult for me. And I think I did not do my diligent proper research ki what should be my backup option and whatever. But later on, there was a huge gap between when the waitlist got sorted out and when I got an admission. So I had a lot of time in my hands and I did a lot of research work. So this was one option that I came across. And I would like to mention that students from those colleges are also doing pretty well. I would like to give an example. For example, we have a senior in our own college who is right now working for Carpel.ai. And a lot of students from IHMR Delhi, IHMR Jaipur are also working in the same organization in the same posts. And also, similarly, a lot of students are working at good hospitals like Medanta. They're working in hospitals like Apollo. So it does not really matter. At the end of the day, it depends on you as well. For example, if you're left out with no other options, you can opt for these two colleges as well. And getting in is not that difficult. You have to appear for MAT. And MAT is very easy, especially after you're studying with Pratik sir. Sir teaches you everything. And also, you have to go through an interview process, which is very easy, especially if you're preparing for TSS. I think you know everything by then. Then again, Goa Institute of Management is another college that sir mentioned. And yeah, I think these are the three colleges that I know.
There is also one more college where my students are there. That is IIPH Gandhinagar. So you can read about it and then you can think of it. See, different interview. Suppose you have applied for three courses. There will be three interview and extemporaries. Okay. But I have cases where the first interview is on 28th and the second is on 22nd, 21st, something like that. It was there.
Yes, I had interview consecutive days.
Mm-hmm. So that can be.
Me too, sir. Same scenario, consecutive interviews day after day.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter. Prepare your well, had a good buffer knowledge, and I'm sure you will all be able to crack it again.
So thank you, Ayan. Thank you, Shreya. Thank you, Sally and Shivani and Shwangi. Thank you all. And Pooja, of course. Thanks for coming and educating and sharing the insight to the students. Thank you so much. So I will
Thank
stop
you,
the
sir, for
recording.
having us.